and everything is like a work of art. My name is Kendall Peach. I'm the Director of International Students at Sancta Maria College in Auckland. I love Japan. Japan is a place that I've been able to visit many times because I used to work in the cosmetics industry many years ago and had the opportunity to come to Japan then. Before I went to Japan, I think my original stereotype potentially was of a more serious culture. Just my experience was much more than what I ever thought it was going to be. And I got to see how artistic and creative Japanese people can be. Because I was in the cosmetics industry at the time, I think probably hair and makeup was something that I was looking at. You know, in places like Shinjuku and so forth, where they were experimenting with things that places in the rest of the world weren't trying at the time. So to me that was well advanced of other places in the world, and it was fantastic. Before I visited Japan, probably the thing I was looking forward to the most was the food. I think my expectation of the food was met and exceeded because Japanese food was so wonderful and I loved it so much.
What's your favorite?
Sushi, of course.
Have you tried sushi train?
Yes, many times.
So
I love the
unique.
Sushi train. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, I do. I love this very much.
It's just variety of sushi. It's
Yes,
amazing.
yeah.
A bit different from New Zealand.
Yeah, I think I had a wonderful opportunity to go to a restaurant in Ginza, and I tried many different things at a very exclusive restaurant that I probably would not have gone to had I not been there for business. It was a bit more than the tourist experience, and I just loved it. And I loved all the food, but probably what struck me most about the Japanese food was the beautiful presentation, and everything is like a work of art in front of me to try. It was gorgeous. I loved it. That was also maybe challenging for a New Zealander. Kinna, sea urchin, was probably not my favourite.
Oh, uni in Japanese.
Yes. That was probably the only thing I found challenging, but for many New Zealanders that would be a delicacy as well, and so they would probably love it. It's just not my thing.
I think Maori people eat it.
They love it. Not this one, sorry.
Yeah, I
Not
do
my favourite.
understand.
Not my favourite. One time when I was in Japan, I was travelling by train to get to one of the venues that I was working at, and when I was on the train I had not picked up the map to show me where I had to get off. It was quite late at night and I travelled for a long time, and I had forgotten to pick up the map. There was a person sitting across the chair from the seats from me in the train, and I could see on his map that he was holding that it had English on one side of it. He looked to me like possibly he would be from Japan, and so I said to him in my very poor Japanese at the time, but really using hand expressions and charades, I said, can I please look at your map, can I see your map? So I was trying to, and he looked at me and he said, "Sure, of course you can," in this really strong American accent. He was actually Vietnamese American, and he was also in Japan on business at the time. And so this was more than 20 years ago, and we're still friends today. So yeah.
Lovely, but that's a typical example that you can't judge.
You really don't know who you could be meeting and talking
This
to.
person looks like Japanese, but could be a native Kiwi.
Absolutely. He could have spoken to me just like in a Kiwi accent as well. Yes, but I probably had judged him as being something, he must be Japanese.
We all naturally do.
Of course, and yeah, I was probably also in my own mind expecting to see that it was a Japanese person on the train in front of me, and probably not expecting to see a Vietnamese American on the train. But like I say, we're still friends to this day. I do actually think that there's many differences in the culture, so probably the best way to experience that is for students to come to New Zealand to experience what life is like here and to see how we all interact with one another, the levels of respect that are through all cultures and ages and across different sexes as well, so the different genders. So I think that is also quite strong in New Zealand as well. And I think for Japanese people to understand that when they come to New Zealand, that would be a great insight for them as well, just to see how different cultures approach. New Zealand's probably just a little bit different in that regard. I also think it's great for New Zealanders to see how Japan is different culturally to us as well, and to see the differences. And they're probably something that someone needs to go to Japan, or the Japanese need to come to New Zealand to really get that full appreciation of those differences.